euphoria of Ukraine's 2004 Orange Revolution faded during 5 years of political gridlock. Then, last year, Ukrainians narrowly voted for a switch. Out with the winner of the Orange Revolution, pro-Western populist Yulia Tymoshenko, and in with the loser of the Orange Revolution, pro-Russian conservative Viktor Yanukovych. At stake is a post-Soviet state second in size and population only to Russia. The pro-democracy organization Freedom House has downgraded Ukraine from free to partly free. Reporters Without Borders dropped Ukraine 42 notches in its Media Freedom Index to 131st place. Natalia Lugacheva works with the new Stop Censorship movement in Kyiv.
Цензурировать прежде всего и монополизировать информацию на телевизионных каналах.
The most important thing is that the Ukrainian government has taken from the Russian authorities desire to censor and to monopolize the information primarily on television channels, making less free print media and the internet.
Нынешняя власть пользуется консультациями российских политтехнологов, да.
Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesman Oleg Voloshin says that many journalists and human rights workers in Ukraine are Orange Revolution supporters, and that the power shift came as a shock.
When you live in a state of chaos, of political chaos that we've been living through for previous 5 years, any limitation of this chaos creates a feeling, especially for the journalists, of some limits being put on the freedom of press.
Ukraine diplomats increasingly are on the defensive. The U.S. Embassy recently warned President Yanukovych about selective persecution of political opponents. And the European Union has made it clear that democracy is a core condition for Ukraine winning a free trade pact this year. That has not stopped authorities from investigating former Prime Minister Tymoshenko and other former government ministers on a variety of charges.
І він таким чином наївно думає, що він може побудувати новий залізний занавес.
He naively thinks he can build a new iron curtain. This is a man still living according to Soviet ways with Soviet views.
Радянськими баченнями.
Ms. Tymoshenko spoke to VOA at her political headquarters a few hours after government security agents demanded her party's computer server. She calls President Yanukovych a tyrant.
Його перебування на посаді президента.
The first year of his tenure as president was not the beginning of his beautiful start of reform, of transformation, of gaining stability. It marked the beginning of the end of authoritarian government, which he represents.
Foreign Ministry spokesman Oleg Voloshin says that politicians the world over are investigated for corruption after leaving office.
How can we talk about the political persecution, per se, if her rating increases, she organizes rallies, she attends meetings with foreign journalists, she gives interviews.
Many Ukrainians ask if President Yanukovych will move Ukraine further in the political direction of Vladimir Putin's Russia. Russian journalist Evgeny Kiselyov is not worried. He hosts a political talk show in Kyiv and compares Ukraine to Belgium or Canada, other countries too linguistically and ethnically divided to be run by a centralizing strongman.
The fact that Ukraine is a combination of different regions, groups, religions, interests, etc., is a blessing for the country. I don't think that Putin's scenario is plausible for Ukraine.
Kiselyov predicts Mr. Yanukovych will face strong opposition candidates in the next presidential election 4 years from now. At this point, he says he would not vouch for the president's re-election. James Brooke, VOA News, Kyiv.